You are not unloved. You are not unseen. You are simply standing in the wrong place, begging for worth from hands too weak to hold it. Remember this: when someone does not value you, it is not proof of your weakness. It is proof of their blindness. But here's the prophecy: if you keep waiting for them to open their eyes, you will spend your whole life asleep. Look around you. The world is bleeding with loneliness. We crave attention like addicts. We chase love like beggars. We scroll for validation as if a like could heal our soul. You felt it. That sting in your chest when someone ignores your message. That hollow silence when you give your best and they give you nothing. That quiet shame of realizing I gave them my time, my loyalty, my soul, and still I was disposable. This is the disease of our age. We barter our dignity for scraps of attention. We trade our peace for approval. We kneel before people who do not even know how to stand. But here's the truth no one dares tell you. Your value is not measured by how they treat you. Your value is revealed by how you respond when they don't. They told you to move on. They told you to just let go. But the truth is, you don't need soft words. You need a weapon. And the ancients gave us one. Not a sword, not a shield, but a philosophy sharper than steel. Stoicism. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It is about being unbreakable. It is not a bedtime story. It is war training for the soul. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. Choose not to feel wronged, and you haven't been." Do you hear it? Not advice. A command, a war cry. Because here's the blade hidden in those words: no one can devalue you unless you hand them the power. Insults, rejections, betrayals, they are sparks, and you are the fire. They cannot burn you unless you let them. Seneca, the man who faced exile and betrayal, said it with even more thunder: "You act like mortals in what you fear, and like immortals in what you desire." Think about that. You fear rejection as if you will die from it, and yet you desire their attention as if you will live forever. But the Stoic sees the truth. Both are illusions. Rejection cannot kill you, and validation cannot save you. What matters is whether you are master of your own worth. Picture a warrior standing in the storm. The winds howl, the rain cuts, the world screams, "You are nothing." But he does not flinch because he knows value is not begged for, it is carried. Epictetus, born a slave, knew this more than anyone. He said, "You may fetter my leg, but my will, not even Zeus himself can conquer." This is your weapon. When someone does not value you, you don't collapse, you don't chase, you don't beg, you stand, because your worth is not in their hands, it is in your stance. So here is the Stoic decree. Stop asking, "Why don't they value me?" Start asking, "Why do I keep giving my crown to beggars?" Let me tell you a story, not the kind written in self-help books, the kind that bleeds, the kind that scars. Scene 1, ancient Rome. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the known world. Legions bowed to him. Senators feared him. And yet, one night in his war tent, he wrote in silence, "Be indifferent to what makes no difference." Why? Because even the emperor was betrayed. Even he knew the sting of people plotting behind his back, serving him with smiles while sharpening knives in the dark. But Marcus did not crumble. He did not rage. He returned again and again to one truth: their value of me does not determine my virtue. Their betrayal cannot poison my soul unless I let it. He fought battles not only with armies, but with his own emotions, and that is why his words outlived Rome itself. Scene 2, a slave in chains, Epictetus. His leg broken by a cruel master, his freedom stolen, his name spat on. If there was ever a man the world refused to value, it was him. And yet, listen to his words. You may chain my body, but not my mind. Do you see it? A man with nothing valued himself more than kings, because his worth was never in their hands. It was forged in his soul. Scene 3, modern times. Now picture this. A young man scrolling through his phone at 2 a.m. He sees the message, the one he prayed for, the one that made his heart race, but it is short, cold, dismissive. 3 words that cut deeper than any blade. I don't care. His chest tightens. He stares at the screen, and in that moment, he feels worthless, discarded. But pause here, because this is where the Stoic weapon must be drawn. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal. Epictetus faced chains. And you're facing indifference in a digital world. The battlefield has changed, but the war is the same. The enemy is the same. The belief that your worth depends on them. And here is the cinematic twist. Every time someone doesn't value you, you stand where Marcus stood. You suffer where Epictetus suffered. You are in the same lineage of warriors. Do you see now? The story isn't about them. It's about you. It's about whether you will beg or whether you will stand. Because if a slave in chains could still see his value, if an emperor betrayed could still see his virtue, then what excuse do you have to let a text message break you? Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is not philosophy. It is not soft wisdom. It is a manual for war. The war inside you. When someone doesn't value you, your first instinct is to chase, to explain, to prove, stop. That is the trap. That is where most men bleed out. The Stoics gave us a battle plan, and today it is yours. Rule 1. Silence is a weapon. Seneca wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned through many sufferings." Do not waste your breath defending your worth to someone who has already decided not to see it. Every word you spill is a drop of blood. Every explanation is a surrender. Learn the strength of silence. Stand tall, say nothing, walk away. Rule 2. Redirect your gaze. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." So why stare at closed doors? Why kneel before cold hearts? If they do not value you, it is not your punishment. It is your freedom. Redirect your gaze to your craft, to your body, to your mind, to those who do see, to the mission that is larger than you. Rule 3. Master the pause. When rejection strikes, the fire of anger rises, the storm of sadness grows. Here is the move. Pause. Do not react. Do not lash out. Do not type that desperate message. Breathe. Observe the emotion. Let it burn through you without consuming you. The pause is your shield, and in that shield, you will survive the blow. Rule 4. Withdraw the key. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Do you hear the weapon in those words? If they don't value you, you are only in pain because you handed them the key. Withdraw it. Take it back. No one controls your peace without your permission. No one defines your value unless you surrender it. Rule 5. Remember death. This is the nuclear weapon of Stoicism. Memento mori. One day, you will die. One day, the opinions, rejections, dismissals, they will vanish with your last breath. So ask yourself, why let the temporary shadows of others dictate the eternal fire of your soul? If you carry death on your shoulder, every slight becomes small. Every rejection becomes laughable. Every dismissal becomes fuel. These are not suggestions, they are orders. Orders from generals who fought this battle long before you. Silence, redirect, pause, withdraw. Remember death. This is the battle plan. And if you march with it, no rejection can break you, no dismissal can move you, no betrayal can enslave you. The world has tried to break you, ignored you, dismissed you, treated you like nothing. But hear me now. This is the moment you rise. Think of fire. When the wind blows, the weak flame dies. But the strong flame, it grows taller, brighter, unstoppable. Rejection is your wind. Dismissal is your storm. If you are glass, you will shatter. But if you are iron, the hammer only forges you stronger. Marcus Aurelius whispered this truth through the centuries. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Do you understand what that means? The very rejection you fear is the fuel you need. The very dismissal that burns is the fire that tempers your steel. The obstacle is not blocking your path. The obstacle is the path. So when someone does not value you, do not fall. Do not beg. Do not shrink. Rise. Stand taller. Radiate so much strength that their blindness becomes their punishment. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to become inevitable. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every cold shoulder, every slammed door, they are not graves. They are furnaces. And from those furnaces, you emerge not broken, but reborn. Do you see it now? The truth that rips through the soul? Here it is. The world will break you. People will undervalue you. They will dismiss you, betray you, mock you. The question is not, will it happen? It already has. It always will. The question is this: when the world breaks you, will it find you made of glass or iron? That is the climax. That is the thunder. That is the truth they will never forget. The storm has passed, or maybe it hasn't. The winds still howl. The world still rages. The chaos is relentless, but you are calm. Your mind is clear. Your heart is steady. Your soul is untouchable. Remember this: it was never about the world changing for you. It was about you mastering yourself. Every insult you did not answer. Every rejection you did not chase. Every desire you controlled. Every tear you transformed into strength. Each moment built you. Each struggle sharpened you. Each trial forged you into something eternal. Now, hear this carefully. When someone does not value you, the loss is not yours, it is theirs. You were not diminished, you were revealed. For when the world stripped you of its masks, you finally stood bare in your truth. And that truth was iron. That truth was fire. Do you understand the weight of this? The masses spend their lives in chains, begging for recognition, hungry for applause, desperate for validation. But you have stepped outside that prison. You have tasted freedom, because the moment you stop needing them, you become untouchable, unstoppable, immortal in spirit. Look back at history. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, ruler of millions, wrote in his private journals, "Why do you hunger for their approval, as if their judgment could make you immortal?" Even a man who commanded armies, who owned palaces, who sat on the throne of the greatest empire, knew the poison of needing validation. And he fought it daily, not with swords, not with legions, but with his mind. Seneca, betrayed by those closest to him, faced the blade of his enemies with calm. As blood poured from his veins, he said, "The wise man is self-sufficient." He did not beg. He did not scream. He did not crumble, because he had built his fortress within. And Epictetus, born a slave, beaten, ridiculed, dismissed, looked his masters in the eye and declared, "You may fetter my leg, but my mind remains free. If even chains could not diminish his value, why do you tremble at being overlooked? Do you see it now? The pattern? The world never valued them. Not truly. Not when they lived. Not when they walked among men. But centuries later, we whisper their names with reverence. Marcus, Seneca, Epictetus. They became eternal not because others valued them, but because they mastered themselves. And so it must be with you. When someone does not value you, you must choose. Do you collapse into their blindness? Or do you rise into your own vision? Do you wait for the world to applaud? Or do you become so unshakable that the applause is irrelevant? Picture this. You walk into a room. They look, they judge. Some sneer, some dismiss, some whisper. But you do not flinch. Your gaze is steady. Your silence is thunder. Your calm is more powerful than their noise, because you know who you are, and you no longer need them to confirm it. This is the secret the world will never teach you, because if you knew it, you would no longer be controlled. They cannot buy the man who needs nothing. They cannot break the soul that does not beg. They cannot enslave the spirit that already walks free. Let me tell you the hardest truth. The reason rejection cuts so deep is because you believe their blindness defined your worth. But it does not. It never has. It never will. Your value is not a negotiation. It is not a bargain. It is not a popularity contest. It is carved into your very being. And no man, no woman, no dismissal, no silence can erase it. So carry this wisdom forward. Do not chase those who undervalue you. Do not explain yourself to the blind. Do not beg the deaf to hear your song. Walk forward, head high, shoulders strong, eyes blazing. Be the storm's calm center. Be the iron in the fire. Be the sun that rises regardless of who looks. Remember, every time they dismiss you, you sharpen. Every time they ignore you, you grow. Every time they undervalue you, you become priceless. You are not glass. You are not fragile. You are not here to be chosen. You are iron. You are forged. You are here to be inevitable. Listen carefully, because what I am about to give you is not philosophy. It is weaponry. You have been walking through this world unarmed. That's why every insult pierces you. That's why every rejection burns you. That's why every betrayal feels like it kills you. But a warrior without armor cannot blame the arrows. A warrior without a shield cannot blame the enemy. So today, you will forge armor. You will build your shield. You will carry the sword of the Stoics. The first weapon, detachment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed and you won't be." What does this mean? It means that harm is not in the insult. Harm is not in the rejection. Harm is not in their silence. Harm only exists if you give it permission. It exists when you let their words become your chains. It exists when you allow their actions to shape your worth. Detachment is fire. When you master it, their attacks burn away before they touch you. When someone mocks you, you do not burn. You watch the flames and smile because you know the truth. Their words reveal them, not you. The second weapon, control. Epictetus said, "You may fetter my leg, but not even Zeus himself can overpower my will." This is not poetry. This is reality. Your will is untouchable. Your choice is immortal. The world can strike your body, but it cannot enslave your spirit unless you hand it over willingly. Control means knowing the battlefield. You control your thoughts. You control your actions. You control your discipline. Everything else outside your command, outside your ownership, outside your concern. The Stoic soldier wastes no energy fighting what cannot be moved. He directs all his force toward the one enemy he can truly conquer, himself. The third weapon, the reversal. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Think of every second you have bled away chasing those who didn't value you. Every hour you wasted waiting for their message. Every day you lived trying to prove yourself worthy of their attention. That was theft, not by them, by you. You stole your own life. You handed your most sacred gift, time, to those who did not care. Reversal means turning this weapon back. From now on, your time is iron. It will not bend for those who treat it cheaply. It will not melt under the heat of longing. Your time is the fortress they cannot enter without earning the key. The fourth weapon, preparation. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They woke up each morning expecting betrayal, insult, rejection, chaos. Why? So when the arrows came, they did not bleed. They had already been struck in their imagination. They had already rehearsed their defense. This is your battle drill. When you walk into the world, tell yourself, today, someone will disrespect me. Someone will undervalue me. Someone will misunderstand me. Then when it happens, you will not be surprised. You will be prepared, and a prepared mind is invincible. The fifth weapon, indifference. Remember this law. What you do not feed, dies. What you starve of attention, withers. What you refuse to value, loses its power over you. When someone does not value you, do not argue, do not beg, do not chase, starve them of your attention, withdraw the oxygen of your presence. Let them drown in the silence you leave behind. Indifference is the ultimate weapon, because when you stop caring about their judgment, you become untouchable. The transformation. With these weapons, you are no longer a victim. You are no longer someone waiting for recognition. You are no longer a soul begging to be seen. You are fire. You are iron. You are the storm they cannot control. You walk into the battlefield of life, and when someone refuses to value you, you no longer shatter. You no longer beg. You no longer cling. Instead, you rise. You rise with a silence that roars louder than any cry. You rise with a discipline that breaks every chain. You rise with an indifference that makes the unworthy tremble. And now, I will ask you, will you keep handing your life to those who do not value it, or will you take it back? The answer will not be spoken. It will be lived. There comes a moment in every warrior's life when words are no longer enough. You argue, you explain, you justify, and still they do not value you. Why? Because the loudest cries are not respected. The strongest force is not noise, it is silence, the tyranny of noise. This world is drowning in voices, everyone screaming, everyone demanding, everyone desperate to be seen. And what do people value most? Not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one who does not need to shout at all. When Marcus Aurelius walked into the Roman Senate, he didn't need to raise his voice. His presence carried weight, because his discipline, his silence, his calm were louder than thunder. The silence that burns. Imagine this. They insult you. They expect anger. They want the fight, but you give them silence. They ignore you. They expect you to chase. They want your desperation, but you give them silence. They undervalue you. They expect you to prove yourself. They want you to beg, but you give them silence. And in that silence, a fire is born. Because nothing terrifies the world more than the one who does not need it. The modern battlefield. Think about it. You text someone. They don't respond. So you wait, you double text, you overthink, and every moment your value collapses. This is the sickness of our age. We think attention equals worth. We think replies equal validation. We think silence means rejection. But the Stoic flips the battlefield. When someone does not value you, you do not chase. You let silence fight your war, because silence is undefeated. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Freedom is not just chains falling off your wrists. It is walking away when someone refuses to see your worth. But here is the truth most cannot bear. Walking away requires strength. It requires discipline. It requires faith in yourself. Weak men cling. Weak men beg. Weak men stay where they are not valued because they fear solitude more than disrespect. But the Stoic, he withdraws, not out of anger, not out of weakness, but out of strength, because he knows where silence begins, slavery ends. Yes, walking away means being alone, and that loneliness will test you. Nights will feel long, days will feel heavy. The silence will echo like thunder in your chest. But remember this, solitude is not punishment. Solitude is purification. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Alone, you will meet yourself. Alone, you will forge your strength. Alone, you will realize you were never lacking. It was they who were blind. When you master silence, something changes. Your presence shifts. Your aura grows heavy. People feel it before you speak. Because silence creates mystery. Silence builds respect. Silence forces the world to wonder, what do they know that I do not?" You no longer chase validation. Validation begins to chase you, not because you begged for it, but because you withdrew from it. This is the paradox. The less you need, the more powerful you become. Picture a king, crowned, surrounded by servants. Does he beg for recognition? Does he scream to be heard? Does he chase those who leave his hall? Number, he remains still, and the world bends around his stillness. You must become that king. Not a king of land, not a king of people, but a king of your soul. When someone does not value you, you do not collapse. You rise into sovereignty. You sit upon your throne of silence, and from that throne, you command the battlefield of your life. The final law of silence, hear me. The one who cannot walk away is a slave. The one who begs for value will never find it. The one who chases will always be behind. But the one who stands in silence, the one who withdraws his energy, the one who does not need, that one becomes untouchable. So ask yourself tonight, when they do not value you, will you burn your soul trying to convince them? Or will you let silence crown you? The choice is yours, and your silence will be your answer. There comes a time when the world no longer hurts you because you've turned the pain into fire. The mirror of disrespect. When someone does not value you, it is not a reflection of your weakness. It is a reflection of their blindness. You can spend years trying to make the blind see, but their eyes are not yours to open. Your duty is not to convince them. Your duty is to rise above them. The weight of chains. Every second you beg for worth, you forge another chain. Every moment you wait for their attention, you kneel lower. Every time you argue for your value, you give it away. The Stoic breaks those chains, not with anger, not with revenge, but with indifference. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Do you hear the weapon in those words? The moment you stop defending yourself, no one can touch you. Value does not come from them. It never did. It comes from you, from the fire you carry. from the silence you command, from the discipline you forge in solitude. When they ignore you, you grow stronger. When they undervalue you, you sharpen your blade. When they leave, you discover you were always whole. So swear this oath: you will not beg, you will not chase, you will not shrink. You will walk with fire in your chest and silence on your lips. You will value yourself so completely that no one else's blindness can dim your flame. Because here's the truth: the moment you no longer need their value, they will come searching for it in you. But by then, you will already be gone, stronger, freer, untouchable. The last illusion, you kept waiting, waiting for them to see you, waiting for them to understand, waiting for them to value you. But the wait itself was the prison, because value is never given. It is never granted by another. It is claimed. The Stoics knew this truth. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, surrounded by betrayal and false friends, never wrote, "May they love me." He wrote only, "May I remain uncorrupted. May I remain whole. Listen closely. The world will not clap for you. The world will not pause to crown you. The world will take and take and take until you stop handing yourself over." So the question is not, why don't they value me? The question is, why do I still give them the power to decide? Picture this. A lone warrior stands on a cliff at dawn. The battle behind him, the world silent before him. His scars glow like fire. His chains are broken. His enemies are gone. And yet, he does not seek applause. He does not crave witnesses, because his victory was never about them. It was about himself. This is you. This is who you must become. Seneca wrote, "The man who values himself at his true worth is invincible." Do you feel the gravity of that? Invincible. Not because the world is kind, not because people finally understand, but because no storm, no insult, no betrayal can pierce the fortress you have built inside. That is where true value lives, not in their recognition, but in your unshakable self-mastery. The choice. So here it is, the final test. You can continue chasing shadows, begging blind men to see, or you can rise. You can walk away. You can stand so tall, so unmovable, that even the gods would nod in respect, because the truth is brutal and beautiful. The moment you stop needing their value, you will finally see your own. When someone doesn't value you, do not break, do not bend, do not waste your fire. Instead, stand still, stand proud, stand eternal. Be the iron in a world of glass. Be the silence that roars louder than their voices. Be the light that does not beg the darkness to notice. And remember this: the greatest revenge is not anger. It is not hate. It is not proving them wrong. The greatest revenge is indifference. Because when you stop caring, you become untouchable. You become free. You become immortal. So carry this wisdom forward. Walk as the calm in the storm. Let your silence speak. Let your presence teach. Let your discipline inspire. And if this message reached you, do not hoard it. Share it, not for me, not for numbers, but because the world needs more warriors. The world needs more Stoics. The world needs you. The storm will not end. The chaos will not fade. But you can rise above it. The world will not value you. So value yourself so completely, so fiercely, that no one else's blindness can ever touch your flame again.